A quick announcement before we begin today's episode. This world is now set up on my Patreon server, so if you want to join me in playing some Antimatter Chemistry, please go down in the description and support me on Patreon to get access to this server and play with me. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Antimatter Chemistry. I really didn't like how the room in here looked with all of the spawners, because it was way too basic, and I want to do it and make it better. Before I change it up and explain how we are gonna set up the spawners in here, I used this setup here to kill a bunch of withers, and we have 43 nether stars now, plus we have the data model leveled up to the superior model, and we have 14 to go, so as soon as we reset up the wither skeleton spawner, we can kill a few more withers and get this to the self-aware tier, and we can then use that and the polymer clay here to get ourselves the pristine wither matter, which we can then just immediately turn into nether stars, which is also pretty cool. And at some point, we won't really need to have the wither skeleton spawner automated, to be honest, for wither skeleton skulls, because we can just use the deep learner to get with nether stars when needed, because I don't think we're going to use them for power anyway. So the simple idea that I have for the spawners is basically, if you see that over on the top, we can put kind of like a similar thing here on the bottom and build up the spawner kind of like it's in a pillar of sorts. And then in the middle, we would have the spawner surrounded by a bit of dark glass and a bit of broken up blocks. And I think that would look really cool. And we can theme the blocks outside of the spawners to be the type of block that are corresponding to where the mob comes from, for example. So wither skeletons, zombie pigmen, ghasts maybe if we set up a spawner for that. And then blazes, for example, we can set up in a netherite theme, and we can set up like one corner of this to be netherite themed. The middle we can do kind of like a neutral stone brick block pathway of sorts. And then in one corner we can do like enderman spawner because it's end themed. And then the rest of it could be like overworld mobs. We can do skeletons, zombies, creepers, whatever. Probably just witches. Skeletons we don't really need because we would have the wither skeleton. So just a couple of these other spawners that would fit in the theme here. So I think we are ready to start doing some building. At home, I collected a bit of nether brick here. I have like 4,000 of this, and I also have 147,000 nether wart, because I can use the nether brick and the nether wart to make red nether brick, which I think I have somewhere in here, or possibly just in the storage system. But I think this is kind of cheaty or broken, because the plant interactor normally interacts with the block to do this, and the drops are then picked up by this, and this guy just doesn't work on the nether wart like physically, so it's just doing its thing and it's harvesting nether wart constantly. So I had it running for a little bit of time while I was AFK, and it collected 147,000 nether wart, which is insane. I just put one diamond upgrade in here, so we have a whole bunch of nether wart, and we probably never have to farm it ever again for the rest of the pack, possibly. I decided to install the replay mod, and I'm going to try and do a time lapse of me building this. But firstly, I need a bit more space. If I want to have 4 chunks of this in here, I kind of need to have them like so. So I'm going to just dig out a bit more space with the destruction gadget, and we can just do this together because it's going to take like, no time at all. You just right click like this, and let's get all the way to the edge so we get it like that. What? Hello? What? Undo. What just happened? Oh, power. What? Oh, and darkness. Yeah, power. Right. Okay, I think I have it. Hold on. I was charging my flux capacitor here. This is probably, the destruction gadget probably drained a bunch of my power, because that just took 1,000,000 RF just to dig out all of those blocks. So if we head on back into the deep dark, we can finish this now. I'm going to put this guy on my hotbar here so we can see how much RF this drains. Let's do F3G just to get it out of the way, and we can do that. Yep, that drains the entire thing, and that's like 1,000,000 RF. Okay, that's fun. Okay, so let's do it something like this. The tops I'm going to leave because I don't know how tall I want the like pillars to be yet, so we'll just leave it be for the time being. I'll turn on F7 though, and I will throw down some glow balls just so we can light up the flooring here a little bit. Oh, and it lines up perfectly, so I can light everything up. The hardest part about this is just getting started to get a feel for how big each one of the spawner rooms is going to be with all of the outside blocks that I would place. So I think I'm just going to go with one and we're going to build it up, see what happens, and then we're going to build the next one next to it somewhere close by, and we're going to see about the chunk loading. If we have to load a few more chunks than normal, it should be fine. As these spawners, I want to have controlled with redstone directly from the applied logistic system, so it basically checks, for example, for Endermen, how many Ender Pearls are in the system, sends a redstone signal to the spawner, and it's only going to spawn them when we need Ender Pearls. Plus, the spawner is going to be super duper fast, so it's going to process the Enderman really, really quickly and then stop. So it should just drop a little bit of Ender Pearls and then go, and it's back to the Ender Pearls that we need. As you probably noticed, it wasn't a replay mod timelapse because when I wanted to go to edit it, I didn't have the option to get into the replay viewer, and I don't know if I can somehow manipulate the buttons on the loading screen to show up the replay buttons. Maybe I could ask the mod author to figure it out because he would probably know a bit more about this than I would. So we're just gonna have speedy up bits for the time being until we can get that sorted out. But I want to set up the spawner so it's running while we're doing the rest of the building here. So I basically got rid of most of the things in here in terms of light. There is another glow ball right here and right there. So everything here should be dark and you can't see anything. So I'm just going to turn on night vision. And I have the redstone relay on a structural duct coming over here. And here on top, we have the redstone receiver. And the redstone transmitter is pretty much going to be in the base at some point. We're going to flip it down here somewhere, just somewhere out of the way, just so we can flip it on and off as needed. And apparently I have to go get a lever, which is fine. But I'm going to decorate the inside a little bit, and then we're going to turn on the spawner and set everything up underneath so we can kill the mobs and send all of the items to the storage system. And we can pretty much set up possibly just the petrified generator with coal, because I don't want to worry about running out of charcoal and then having to kickstart the base somehow. So we're going to fix that up so we don't have to worry about power next. I have moved the petrified generators over here, and I have an exporter on top exporting coal in here. Then I have 2 retrievers pulling 4 blocks of coal, and this one I think I didn't set up, so we're gonna say only pull maximum amount of 4, and you're gonna pull 1 at a time. So we can just then empty this, and it's gonna go. There we go. Cool. So we can put all of these into the storage system above. I wanted to do the whole RF monitor thing, but I don't have time right now to set it up fully because it's being glitchy on how I want to set it up. At least I can't figure it out. Because what I would want necessarily is what the power monitor from Ender.io does, basically, is emit a signal when or control this energy cell so it would only run the generators when it's, let's say, when the power is below 95%. And when it hits 95%, it would turn off the generators. And it would only kick on the generators when the power is less than, let's say, 10%. So basically, you charge up the energy cell, and then it slowly drains, and then you do more power to charge it up again, and then it slowly drains again. And I know I can get it working, but I won't do it right now because I want to go work on the spawner still, and I will maybe fiddle around with it in between episodes. So we can toss all of this stuff in here, and now go fix up the spawner. The mob crusher is in place downstairs, and I don't want to use 2 servos to extract out of the mob crusher, because that means that I need to use 2 servos at the base, which is gonna be a problem because I would need multiple ender chests and it would just be a whole horrible mess. So we can just control this with more clocks, I believe. I can start adding these, and basically it increases the max delay. So if we do, let's say 16, so let's go to 48. 47 now. Well, we can do this, and then now it's 48. So if we come here now, and we turn you on, how fast are you? I mean, you're very slow now. Oh, it needed to pick up a little bit. Well, maybe we can go a bit higher. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this, I think, is keeping up downstairs. I don't think it should be an issue. Also, I don't know why I lost my sounds. I possibly pressed some wrong buttons. No, I can't hear sounds on my here. Oh, now I can hear sounds. Okay, anywhoozle. This is looking like it's... Ooh, because we have looting. Like, this is already slightly too fast. Well, it's good enough. It looks like it. Because when you get a bunch of them and they drop a bunch of stuff, it just empties out. But this is keeping up here, so that should be fine. Yeah, it cleans up every so often. So I think that's all good. I'm going to figure out how many clocks I put on there, but we also have this issue of them being over there. We're going to squeegee them off with our sponge noises. So if we grab this guy, we're at max delay of 80. Okay, so that should be fine. Right, so let me just keep you running, like so. We're gonna go grab a few covers so we can cover that up in the middle. Before we actually do that, let's just get this guy off. And I'm gonna use some netherrack just so we can build like the little pillar that I was talking about in a couple clips ago, so we can see where we are gonna cover it up specifically. And there we go. I think that looks pretty cool to me. Maybe we just add one more block right here. I think that should be looking good. Maybe one more there. And we can fiddle around with the blocks inside a bit later, but this is a functional spawner. So as long as we have this guy running, we should have power in the base because we should have coal. So we're just going to replace these because it's visible right there. Also, I need to fix up all of the other ones on the bottom, but that should be pretty good. If we turn you on, you're still running, doing your thing. We can turn off F7 because it doesn't need to be on. And yeah, we're getting wither skeletons. We hopefully are keeping up in here, as I said, and that should be pretty much complete. To give this build a little bit of structure and a little bit of sense of somebody man-made something in the walls of the nether, for example, to make this spawner basically kind of like it spawned on that spire over there, I wanted to add a little bit of structure here with these nether brick going around the glass here. And I have a bit of an issue. I don't know which one I like best, so you're gonna help me down in the comments. Basically, we have this full-on glass thing or the broken up glass thing. I'm more leaning towards the full-on glass thing because when you look at it from the outside, you can still see that the glass is whole. For example, here you can see that it's connected, but it is whole. So it gives it a bit more depth and structure, I think, because you can easily see over there to the top as well, which makes it look really cool. So I'm leaning more towards the glass thing, but I will wait for your opinions. We'll change it to full-on glass for the time being. And if you guys like it more of the whole non-nether bricky part, or with the netherrack inside of here, and we need to change this up here to glass all the way here, like that. And I think we're gonna get rid of most of this here on the side, just so I can have access to the nether brick and to the glass, and we can finish it off in full around here. So it's gonna have full-on structure. So this needs to be glass. I could have exchanged it, but it's fine. So I'll fix up all of this and see how it looks after. I think this looks much, much cooler. If we make the insides of the spawners kind of man-made, it looks much, much better in my opinion. And if we just grab some glass, which I think I have in one of these, just to close this off, like that, and turn you on. You're still gonna do your thing. I think everything should be dark inside. Press F7. We are getting a little bit of light coming in from the bottom here. Let's just turn you off. You are lighting up and you are lighting up. And then the rest I think should be good. So if we close this up again, we should have full-on darkness. And if we press F7, we should have darkness there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this should be a fully functioning wither skeleton spawner with even a cool design on the inside. And I think on the outside it looks really cool because you can see kind of like how the nether is protruding over it, or how it was built over it, or this was built inside of the nether, I should say. And I think it looks really neat. I do want to add a few bits and bobs of quartz ore in the netherrack. I don't really think we should put nether brick or nether wart blocks or something inside of here. We could use nether wart to make like little small artificial nethery trees. If we have maybe some sort of log or some sort of wood that would be considered to be nethery. We have elder wood, which is craftable. And we could use that because that one is kind of like spooky and nethery. Or even something like cherry wood would work, possibly. We'll figure that out later. But this is looking pretty cool in my opinion. And I'm thinking going forward, I'm just gonna build the spawner box and then we're gonna build the nether around it. So I'm gonna figure out where I wanna put the next spawner, for example, the blaze one. And we can do a different design with different blocks, or maybe just do the accents of the blocks on the inside to be a bit different. I think I wanna use the nether brick and the red nether brick as the main building material. And here I used coal, and for the blazes, we can potentially use some sort of blaze block if we can. Blazing pyrotheum won't work, but we could use magma blocks, for example. Those are kind of orangey. Or maybe magma slimy dirt or something, or slimy magma mud even. That could work. But yeah, that looks really, really cool. I've been totally struggling with lighting, and I totally forgot we have chisel and bits. This chisel and bits makes life just super easy. So let's get just one stone brick here. Just do we grab one bit out so we can get ourselves a bit bag. I think one should be plenty for what we're gonna need. We can destroy this guy and get it trash canned. And there is apparently a super loud motorcycle outside. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is leaving, so it should be fine. All right, so with chisel and bits, we're gonna, let's go to the deep dark, and I can show you specifically where I wanna use this. I want to light up this room down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to grab one glowstone. We're going to select, I think I have it set to here. We're going to do same material, so we just grab all of the glowstone bits, and then we're going to place, I'm just going to do this manually here because I forgot to make the copying thing. So we're gonna do a connected plane, and we're gonna remove 2 coal planes, and then we're gonna grab the glowstone bit wherever that went. So right here, and we're gonna place, whoops, a connected plane of glowstone. So we're gonna do the same thing in all 4 corners here. So if we do remove 2, place 1, remove 2, place 1, remove 2, place 1, we can then place coal above it. And that means that this is lit up. And also over here, we're gonna remove the nether brick. And I'm gonna grab the nether brick bit. So we can then place the glowstone over it, nether brick over it. And everything is lit up and nice. And I'm also gonna do the same thing in here, which kind of means that we possibly didn't need to do it downstairs. But this shouldn't affect the spawner because it's far enough away that I think this light shouldn't be causing any issues. But we can even get the ignore spawn conditions once we get the dragon sorted, and we can just light everything up in here. So we can do one of those, one of, wrong things. These, and then also the last one here like that and like that. So that means that everything here is lit up on the inside, and we can just turn this spawner on, and it should work just fine. Yeah, it's spawning as fast as it possibly can. Cool. Right. So I think right now what I want to get sorted out is the dragon spawner thingy-mabob with the deep mob learning. So if we grab this guy, put it in our offhand, we now actually have enough wither skeleton skulls to get the wither boss to the self-aware model. But I'm going to go to home, and we're going to grab some pristine ender matter. Because that one, well, did I put it in here? Did I put it in a bag here? I think I put it in here. Yeah, pristine matter for all of these, and apparently a zombie spawn egg. Okay, so if we head on downstairs, and if we go to the loot fabricator, we can use this to get end crystals specifically. And these we can use to respawn the dragon. The recipe for this one is a nether star, and it's much easier to get pristine enderman matter. We could just complete the trials for getting 12 each time, and even the corrupted glitch hearts, or we can just toss the polymer clay through the simulation chamber, and we have a 41% chance, 42% chance to get those. But as soon as this will complete, we can also toss our wither matters and wither skeleton matters through. These guys get us, I believe, wither skeleton skulls, coal, or wither rib of the wither. The rib of the wither is kind of useful because you can get the wither armor set, which gives you strength resistance, fire resistance, and flight. It doesn't give you automatic night vision, which is kind of what I like from this helmet, and the fact that the night vision can be turned on and off. But yeah, I'm gonna go spawn another dragon, and we're gonna see how much we can level up the model here from just one dragon kill. I already placed 3 of the crystals, so we're just gonna place another one, but I think we can use the whole middle part because we have the... Why, game? Who in the right mind was like, let's make the dragon noise super loud so it's gonna cover all of your things? Anyway, what I was trying to say, since we generate the obsidian portal here in the middle, it removes a few of the things, and I believe since we're still in 1.12, we can use the cheaty of just using 2 end crystals to respawn the dragon instead of using 4. But I need to grab my shuriken here. I have this on 2%, it's still loud. Or 1%. Do your thing. Okay, I'm gonna go blow out all the crystals, and then we're gonna see if we get any leveling from just hitting the dragon, or do we need to kill it first. Okay, all of the crystals are destroyed, so let's go hit the dragon a bit. Yeah, we're not leveling up, so I assume we have to kill her for this to happen. And somebody said that if we kill her away from the center pillar, she's gonna take a while to go and travel there to die, basically. And each of those hits would count as a level up thing, so I'm gonna get her a bit low. She is a little bit away from here. Come here, dragon me. Oh, you're gonna go downstairs to your chill out spot. Okay, so we're gonna wait until she flies away again. There we go. Yeah, come here. Okay, go a bit further away. There we go. Try and kill her. No, 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 no. Oh, no, it's just 5 to go. So we actually have to kill 6 dragons. Okay. Sure. I'm gonna turn on my magnet just so we pick up all of the bits. I'm gonna toss a little bit in here. And the dragon heart we should get eventually. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna spend time, I think, in between episodes to kill the dragon. We actually have to go home and then we have to come back again, I think, if we want that cheatiness to happen. So if we come through, we should remove, the portal. And we can then break the obsidian here. And I think we can do this and this to respawn the dragon. Yeah, with 2 crystals. Okay. I think I'm going to kill just one more right now, and then I'm going to go finish off the wither, and I think that's going to be it for today's episode. What I just realized that I probably should have killed her with the sword, because the data gained from the demise of a mob is doubled, and there's also a small chance that the sword, I get a permanent damage increase. Yeah, we've leveled up the sword to the max damage, which is fine. So if I just bring her down very low with the shurikens, we can then go manually kill her in the middle, and we can get 2 data each time, which actually means that I only have to spawn in another 3 dragons. I could have used it on the last one, and we would only have to spawn 3 total, but we're gonna do 4, which should get us to the basic tier. And then, as I recall people in the comments saying that the data models automatically slowly level up when you use them in the simulation chamber, so we should be able to just toss the Ender Dragon model in. As long as we provide it with polymer clay, we can level it up automatically, so it should be fine. So let's get here and get in some attacks. We should be finishing off. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we have 3 to go. That's really cool. Okay, neato. Right, so 2 more dragons, and then we should have it leveled up. We're gonna toss in a bunch of stacks of polymer clay here, and we're gonna grab our Ender Dragon data model, which is here, and this has a 5% chance of getting a pristine thing, and I want to see if it levels up, because we would need to kill another, I think, 12, because you get 4 data per kill for the Ender Dragon, and plus this is gonna use more power than I'm making, so I don't want to run this too long. But yeah, data collected 1. Okay, so it has to do 48 iterations, I assume, to run this. And if we want to run this fully all the time, since it uses 2,500, we would need to add a couple more of these too, because I probably should be draining this super quick now. Yeah. So we would need another couple of these. How much is the hardened duct handling? 4,000. I mean, it's doable. All we need to do is extend the item ducts over and add 2 more petrified fuel generators. That I think is doable. I think I'm running the wither skeleton spawner right now, so we should be able to do that. One and 2, and we're gonna grab some ducts here, and also 2 more retrievers. Like so, and another hardened duct. Should be all we need, and we can place you down right here. We're gonna put the generator here and here. I'm gonna flip you over so you're just facing the same way. Apparently not. Okay. We can then add the 2 item ducts here, the retriever, and we're gonna say retrieve the coal, keep 4 in here, extract only 1 at a time, like that, and then the same here. So extract 1 at a time and keep only 4. Boom. There we go. So we should be making enough power that this should be increasing. Cool. With us running that generator simulation chamber doohickey down here. So are we getting anything? Extraterrestrial matter, and we're leveling this guy up. So essentially, if I just leave a bunch of polymer clay in here, this should potentially level up to the last tier. I don't know what happens if you do a trial for this as well. So we will possibly test this out. Well, if we look at uses, trial if we look at this, can we get the... If we look at recipes, yeah, you can't do a trial. Because if we do trial tiers here, you can see you can get all of the regular ones. Yeah, so it's just basically skeleton, witch, spider, slime, wither skeleton, zombie, enderman, and that's it. You can't even do a creeper one, because that would probably explode everything. But, yeah, that's cool. I think I still have some of the pristine of some sort of matter somewhere. Maybe not. But basically, I'm gonna go finish off the wither skeleton, the wither model, so we can then use that one to procure ourselves more nether stars if need be, with just the use of simple polymer clay, which clay we can automate at some point, and iron and gold we're gonna be getting from our gold from our zombie pigman current farm, lapis and iron from a quarry at some point. But yeah. That's pretty cool. As soon as we get an ender dragon pristine matter, we can turn that into more dragon eggs, and we can put the dragon eggs onto the spawners to basically make them ignore the spawn conditions so they can spawn all the time in darkness or in light. We're actually gonna go do that real quick, which basically, if we do this, right? This means that we can change the dark glass to be any sort of other glass, because looking in here, everything is dark. And we can simply light it up with chisel and bits. We can sneak it in the nether brick that is on the spawner there, and we can possibly get some light inside. We could also just use glowing or glowstone glass. I think there's also another, there's glowing glass here, yeah, which is kind of cheaper, which is 2 thickened glass and 1 glowstone from extra utilities. And we could just use that everywhere, which kind of gives it a golden border, but I might differentiate the glasses that we use for different types of spawners as well. That I think could look pretty cool. This isn't actually solving our problems, because the way the controller works, we just have an output of 15 over there, and I don't know how we would detect if we are getting a redstone signal here. Maybe, do I have any redstone on me? I do. So if we do this guy like so, and if we do redstone like this, right? We should be able to detect, if we just turn off, you are north. We turn you off, you don't need to be connected. Here it's redstone. Output, like how to, output number of ticks, sensor. Can you, okay. It would be simpler if it was just an input and an output instead of the sensor, but I totally forgot that you can do the sensor thing. Okay, let's turn on the north again, and we can do a sensor here for a redstone signal when it doesn't equal 0, output on white, and we're gonna hear you output on white, right? That should, it's not emitting a redstone lamp, but you're still on. How are you still on when we don't have redstone power? Or are you just ghost on? Hold on. Flip you, flip you. What is happening? What is happening in this game? This is outputting... Okay, yeah, that should be outputting 15, right? We have an output on white, redstone output value 15. Sensor is, if the redstone doesn't equal 0, which it doesn't, it should output a signal, but it's not doing anything. Okay, for some weird reason, it's not taking the redstone directly out of that, and it's taking it from a redstone dust, so that works. So we can now head on outside, turn this off, and then we can facade everything and make it look pretty as well. Where are my facades? Did I not have facades? I do have facades. There they are. Okay, so you can get out of here. We're gonna facade this one, and then the rest we can just cover up with nether bricks. Possibly facade even more. Up to there. There we go. That's fine. We can just do something like this. That's fine for now. We can fix it up later. But this should now fully function and just kill off the skeletons up top. The lamp turns off, turns on, which is kind of nice. You know the spawner is running, and I mean, the wither skeletons spawning from the spawner tell you that the spawner is spawning, but you know, it's fine. And they get nudged off or they suffocate, which is wonderful. So that sorts out that issue. Cool. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. So if you did enjoy it, make sure you smash that like button. You can also subscribe to get notified of when new videos go live. You can also support me on Patreon as well if you want. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is now a Patreon server. So if you want to go to my Patreon, I will be lowering the prices soon. So you can wait a little bit and they should be lowered. They're a little bit high right now, I know. But yeah, if you want to do that, link in the description. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.